Welcome to Two Souls, One Channel.
Today we're going to be talking about the first topic that we've come up with, and that is relationships.
And all the dramas that come with it.
Yeah, so we've wrote down a few questions. I'm going to ask Hayley some, Hayley's going to ask me some, and then we'll just kind of like round it up.
Yeah, so come along with us.
And we hope you enjoy.
Okay, do you want to start?
Yes. So, first things first, what is your biggest relationship ick?
Oh, it is a hard one. I was trying to think of this before. And it's not necessarily, some people say like shoes and stuff, feet and stuff like mine. I don't think mine is that. I think mine is like attention and depth. Like if no one's emotionally connected, I find it icky because do you know what I mean? Like if they're not like emotionally intelligent and quite like what's the word, like ignorant towards it, I find that quite icky.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's a good ick.
Yeah, that is a good ick, because I do find that icky as well.
Right, question for you. Do you believe in love at first sight?
I 100% believe in love at first sight.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have asked me this 2 months ago, I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I thought that, like, you know, you've really got to get to know someone before you can feel that way. But from my experience, my recent experience, I do genuinely believe in that, like,
connection, that instant connection.
Yeah, an instant connection. Like, when you see someone, you speak to someone, you just feel like instantly drawn to them and instantly connected.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, because other relationships, you fall in love, in love because it comes in time. But when that instant connection's right there, that's like you love at first sight, really, isn't it?
So I would say that I definitely do believe in love at first sight now, 100%. Right, next question for you. Can couples recover from broken trust?
Oh, me personally, no. I think trust is everything. I know some relationships, some people may say that they have recovered from it, but have you really? Because I think it completely changes the dynamic of the relationship to what it was at the beginning before that trust was broken. Do you know what I mean? Because broken trust literally makes you question everything. Yeah. One little lie makes you question all truths. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
I completely agree.
Yeah. No, I don't think you can recover from broken trust. Yeah. No, I don't.
I think I'm with you on that one.
Question for you. Have you ever stayed in a relationship too long, and why?
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I would say I'd stayed in a relationship too long, and the reason why I think that is because I feel like when a relationship is supposed to come to an end, like when you're with each other, when you probably shouldn't be anymore, like everything that person does irritates you. It's like you're in a constant bad mood for no reason. You know, an argument just comes from nothing. Yeah. Like
the mat's already lit. The mat's already lit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Like it's like you can't communicate without it becoming an argument. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you just get under each other's skin.
Yeah.
And
it just becomes more toxic, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it does. It becomes toxic, and then it's like everything just comes to a head. And why did I stay in it that long? My personal reason for staying in a relationship that long was for the children. It was to keep the family together. Yeah. I was thinking about the children more than myself.
Home.
Yeah, and it wasn't just me that was miserable.
Yeah.
It was him that was miserable as well. Yeah. He was miserable.
And then the kids can become miserable through that, because the kids don't need a broken home; they need a happy home.
Exactly.
Is that the right saying? You know what I mean?
Well, exactly. Keeping the family together, you think
can do more damage.
Yeah, you think that that's best for the kids, but at the end of the day, the kids want a happy mum and they want a happy dad. Yeah. So it, like, for me personally, I think that.
And you did then notice that. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean 100%. That you regret or you love it and everything has its course.
Yeah, exactly, and some things do just run the course. So yeah,
absolutely.
I would say I did stay in it too long, because of that reason we just didn't see eye to eye on anything. He said, "You're always in a mood," and I'm like, "You're always in a mood. You're miserable."
And then it can become hate.
Exactly.
When it doesn't need to be. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Next part for you. Is love enough to sustain a healthy relationship?
No, it's not. love is everything in a relationship, obviously. Well, no, sorry, love is a lot in a relationship, but it isn't everything, because again, you need the trust. You need there's so many different things to it, not just love. The stability, the honesty, again, the connection. I have loved every single one of my exes that I've left. Every single one. I've had like 4 more relationships.
Yeah.
And I've loved them. Well, I've not loved them all, but the one, I have still left that relationship when I loved them, because it comes down to yourself, and I loved myself more. I might not have felt it at the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But deep down you knew.
Yeah, again, because, if it isn't enough in the relationship, it then becomes hate, like we've just said. Do you know what I mean? It can turn really toxic, so...
Yeah.
No.
Love isn't enough, basically.
No, it's not enough. There's so much more to it that you need.
Yeah, I completely agree on that. Right.
What's something in a past relationship has taught you that you'll never forget?
I'm gonna have to have a little think about this one. What has a past relationship taught me that I'll never forget? Ooh.
Oh, it's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
Should we come back to that while you have a think?
Yeah, come back to that one. I'll have a little think,
Is it that one?
No.
Yeah, for me.
That's for you, but for me, what's your...
What's your love language?
My love language, I think about a couple, but it's physical touch.
Yeah.
Like, I like touching someone, tickling the hair, tickling the face,
rubbing
kissing,
the feet,
rubbing
nibbling the ear.
All of that.
Yeah.
Physical touch is massive
Yeah,
for me.
I agree.
Like, I need affection.
Yeah.
And I love to give out affection.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
that was probably the worst part for me in a previous relationship, is there was no affection. Like, I was starved of it. And so, no, it's so important for me, physical touch. And you know what? It's cooking for someone. Like,
yeah, I agree. Feeding them, it's like,
Feeding
oh
them.
God, and you
Yeah.
want to watch them eating it, and
Yeah.
it's so
and
satisfying.
you watch them enjoy
And you think,
it.
oh, you've got a nice full belly now. I love cooking for people.
That's exactly how I feel, like watching someone enjoy the food. Like,
Food is the way
it
to a
is.
man's heart.
It is. So yeah, physical touch and cooking for someone.
Yeah, I agree.
They're my
Definitely.
love languages. Right. What's the hardest part of a breakup for you?
Oh God.
There's quite a few
I
hard
mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot. My mental health took its toll. But I think the hardest part is learning to be on your own again.
Yeah.
When you literally, like, you're with someone every single day, you speak to them every single day, you sleep in the same bed, you eat the same food, you watch everything together when you're in. You don't even have to be in each other's pockets to do that, but when you know what I mean? I think that's the hardest bit, like,
and
learning to...
scraping them extra beans into the bin.
Oh, don't. I'll just say it. For example, I was cooking me and my son lunch the other week. I'd made a full English, and I'd put the beans on our plates, and then I had a few leftover beans that I was scraping into the bin. And as I was scraping them into the bin, I was like, oh, it would have been his beans. I'm crying, screaming, like, oh. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's excluding that person again out of your life. And do you know what I mean? And it's you're not doing it to be nasty or to be anything like, it's because to find that fucking peace to get, do you know what I mean? So I think it's learning how to be on your own again, finding yourself again, you know what I mean, and finding yourself basically.
I would say as well for you, it's the missing them, even though you know that it's not right. It's
missing them, like, so much, everything in your life. Do you know what I mean? Down to fucking cups that you use, the mugs you drink out of. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is definitely. Where are we up to with
Right,
you?
we need to really go back to this
we
one
need to
for
go back to
me.
that one. What's something that a past relationship has taught you that you'll never forget?
Right, I think for this one, I'm going to say that in the end, you have to put yourself first.
Yeah.
Like, a relationship's taught me that no matter what, you have to put yourself first. Like, you have to actually be a little bit selfish.
Yeah, you do.
So,
but it isn't being, you have to be selfish, but it's not being selfish. It's what you should be doing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to look after number one, because I feel like I don't feel like I ever actually really cared about myself or
No, you
thought
haven't.
about
You've
myself.
literally been in mum mode. You've been in wife mode. You've been
Yeah.
and because you're a giver anyway, so you know you do. But
Yeah.
you used to feel guilty
Massively.
for doing stuff for yourself.
I did.
Like, you say, if, you know, you was child free, for example.
Yeah.
You just, and it's fine sitting on your own and being
Yeah.
in your own company, but you isolated yourself because
Yeah.
you felt guilty for doing something for yourself.
Yeah, or even if I got invited on a night out, I'd be like, well, I can't because I'd feel bad to ask, like, my mum, can you have the kids so
Yeah.
I can go out? Like, I felt...
That you was putting your responsibility on someone else, but you're not.
Yeah,
That-
and I used to really beat myself up
and I
about
think
that.
you've come a long way in that. Like, you have,
Yeah.
you know, you proper come out your shell, like, you know,
Yeah.
and it's good. You do need that.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
And do you know why that is? Because I feel like I've
That's why
realised...
you lost yourself.
Yeah, because I realised that if my cup isn't full, how can I give the very best version of me to my children?
Yeah,
and
you can't
to my
pour from an
friends?
empty cup.
Exactly, I couldn't do that. So yeah, one of the main things it's taught me is that I do still have to. I have to put myself first. I have to think
Yeah.
of myself first.
Yeah, definitely. Is there others on that
There
one?
was actually more there. I didn't
Oh,
realise.
yeah. Oh, for you.
Yeah. Right. Here's a good one. Have we done all these on here? Ah, right. What's the difference between love and a trauma bond?
I think you can help me with this one.
Yes.
It's a very fine line,
Yeah.
and I think you can only see whether it's a trauma bond or love when you're out of it. I think it
Yeah.
can absolutely be love as well, but the
Yeah.
difference to a trauma bond is like your way of thinking. Like you know, you start to forget. Obviously, when you forget the bad and you remember the good and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But your body is starved of it. Like it's an literal an addiction to your body. Your nervous system is completely hijacked.
Yeah.
And then you get used to the highs. Same way as an addiction, you get used to the highs and the lows. So when it's good, it's really good, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I love this. But then it's never lasting long, and then it's
Yeah.
stopped back down
And
again,
then
and
you
then it's
get
like them
addicted to
feelings.
that, you want
But
that
then
again. Yeah.
and then you wait for that high again. It's literally the same. So
Yeah.
that's the difference between and again in regards to love, it's a two-way thing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If someone's going through something, it's got to, you know, it can't just be all projected onto that one person. Like, you need to do this and you need to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I think, looking in on you and what you've gone through, I've seen it as a trauma bond because, like, the way that someone's made you feel, I'm like, there's no way that you can love
Yeah.
that feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's just no way because I've seen you completely lose yourself and still be so addicted to that person. I'm like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's where I see it as like you have got that trauma bond because that isn't healthy.
Yeah.
You know, what I've seen you go through isn't healthy.
Yeah.
Not for you, not for the other person, and the way that you've still not wanted to let that person go.
Yeah.
That for me is where I think it's definitely a trauma bond. I'm not saying there is no love there. Obviously
No,
there
no,
is
yeah,
love there,
but from an outside point of view,
Yeah.
for someone who's not in that, do you know what I
Yes.
mean? I mean, I've been left with anxiety, PTSD, and fucking trust issues. But yeah,
Yeah.
But no, jokes aside, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. How do you know when you've found the one?
I think for me, it's when everything just feels easy.
Yeah,
Like
nothing's forced.
nothing's an effort. Like it's like a giant thing. Like you're both on mutual grounds with everything. Like everything's going at the right pace, whatever pace that is, but it feels right
Right.
for both people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because for me, like, when I have dated, like, I've dated a couple of people over the last 2 years, and instantly I'm like, no, I don't like that, and I don't like this, and I feel like I'm being picky.
Are you joking me? What was that one? What was it? Was it the shoes you were wearing or something like that? What was it now? You give me the ick.
Probably shoes, probably was the
Yeah.
shoes, because,
Yeah.
well, and that's the thing, I'm like, oh, I don't like the way you blink, so,
Yeah, literally.
yeah, just like really
I hope he's
fussy.
not got a limp. Remember?
I hope he's not got a limp. Yeah, loads of random things like nonsense where I'm like, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that, and
Whereas, when you know that it's the one, like I said before,
Yeah.
you learn to love them imperfections.
Yeah.
So if they do have a limp, if they do have shit
Yeah.
trainers, if
Yeah.
they do have skinny legs, you love him.
you love him.
Do you know what I
exactly.
mean?
And do you know what? It's not even that. It's just the fact of when I think that when you've met the right person,
Yeah.
you don't actually have any icks. There is no
Exactly,
icks.
yeah.
Like, you don't look at them and think, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. Like, you genuinely just love everything about that person. So for me, that's, you found the one, because I know myself that I am so fussy, so particular.
Yeah.
And then with the person that I'm with now, like, to me, is perfect. Like, I feel like he's actually been made for me.
Yeah.
Whereas I thought what I was looking for was going to be like finding a needle in a haystack. Whereas I feel like I've got.
But you
everything.
weren't looking for it.
Exactly. I
And
wasn't looking for it. I was not looking for it. So yeah. That's how I feel. I know I found the one.
2 more questions to go.
Right. What do you define as cheating? Does it go beyond physical intimacy?
Absolutely. Yes, it does.
100%.
I have been cheated on in not my last relationship, but every other relationship before that. And I think the worst thing about cheating, right, is when they're doing it and they make you question your own sanity.
Yes.
Like, oh, you're paranoid, you're weird,
You're
this,
like,
and
your own gut
you sit
instinct.
there and you think, am I fucking
Yeah,
weird?
you
Am
do
I
question
literally?
yourself,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Cheating can be anything. I think from, like, for example, on Facebook, if you're loving pictures and stuff like that, you know,
I don't like
seedy
that.
little bit. That's cheating
I
for
don't
me.
like that.
Giving anybody any little inkling to, like, welcome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To, like, I don't know how to explain it, but
No, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly.
it, you know, it can be conversations. Certain conversations can be a form of cheating, and I know that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
it depends what the conversation is.
yeah,
obviously,
do you know what I mean? And and again, it's all about respect and stuff like that. But I think
you don't have to physically sleep with someone
No,
or kiss someone for it to be
absolutely
cheating.
not. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. No.
No, I completely agree with that.
Yeah. And one last question for you: can a relationship recover from infidelity? Can it recover from cheating? It is an hard one.
It's a really hard one, right? Because
People have.
yeah, like part of me, I'm like, no.
No.
Once the trust is broken, it's gone. How can you ever put your trust in that person again when they've already broken the trust? Like, I feel like someone doesn't need to tell me how I should be behaving. So it's like, for me, if I've got to say to someone, like, you've done this to me, and this is how you've made me feel. If it takes that for them to think, oh yeah, I shouldn't be doing that, I think, how do I trust that you're not going to do that again? But at the same time, I also think that we are all human, we all make mistakes. I mean, I personally wouldn't cheat.
No, me neither.
But
never
I
have.
feel like I have had understanding of someone making mistakes. But
do you agree with some people say, oh, you know, do you think you can be pushed into cheating? So, I think, again, and no. Yeah, you can, because some people, you know, if you're not giving that partner everything they want, that's what leads to it. But then again, like, I think that comes down to the person you are, because you should leave rather than cheat. If you feel that unhappy, you should fucking leave.
That's how I
think it's a cowardly. I think it's a cowardly action.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what I mean?
It is,
because you want the better. It's greedy.
It is. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit like.
Some people have recovered from it, and I think again it comes down to the person you are. If you can genuinely accept that, but again, I don't think it ever would be.
No, because for me, once that trust has been broken, I feel like you never. I do believe that when people, like, if you're with someone, they're making mistakes and treating you with, like, not very much respect. I do feel like a piece of, like, love comes from that. Like, you do slowly.
It tarnishes it.
It tarnishes it, and I just think it's never the same. So probably not. I am a forgiving person, and I'm understanding, and I always try to see things from other people's perspectives and think, right, like, why did you do that? What was our relationship lacking for you to do that? But
and then you start a lot of women or men doubt themselves. Like, I think it's such a soul destroying. Like, I know that every time I've been cheated on, you question yourself and you think, oh my god, what is it? And you completely put yourself down, and then you obsess over the other person that they've been cheated with. What have I got? What they got that I haven't? And it just completely it like destroys your fucking self-image, everything.
So I think we can say that probably not.
No, I don't think it can recover from infidelity. Like I said, some people have, and that's great, but it would never be the same.
No.
You would never get it the same as it was. No. Yeah, people can learn how to and learn how to grow through it, and that's great. If you can do that, I hold my hands up to you, because I personally can't. But yeah, I agree with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that rounds up the questions for today.
So we hope you enjoyed it. We are going to sit down and decide what topics we're going to be covering next. But we hope you enjoyed it. And if you've got anything that you want to say or other questions you want to ask, comment down below.